Ooh, what's up, guys? How's it going? So, we've gotten to the point. So, we've gotten to the only killer perk that deserves a nerf. Okay. Hex. No one escapes death. A hex rooting in its power. On hope, you are animated by the power of your hex totem when the survivors are on the verge of escaping. Once the exit gates are powered, if the dull totem remaining on the map, this hex is applied to it. While this hex is active, survivors suffer from the exposed status effect, and your movement speed is increased by 4%. The hex persists as long as the related hex totem is standing, just like all the other hexes. So, yes, this is the only, I repeat, the only killer perk that deserves a nerf. So, for being a generic perk, this perk is by far the strongest perk in the game, over DS and over Borrowed Time, Dead Hard. This perk is, since it is a generic perk, there is no, is it worth getting? Is it worth picking up because it doesn't belong to a killer and you don't buy it. It's just in your blood web. This is by far the strongest generic perk. It is the strongest perk, period. So the changes I would make to this perk are one of the two following. Either remove the movement speed increase. Make it so the hex no one escapes death is only a one shot. It doesn't give you a speed boost. This would make it easier to loop a killer with the one shot. They're still going to get you if you're out position, but a killer should. This makes it so that it still becomes a strong endgame perk, allowing you to be able to stake your advantage from losing. This is the only perk that rewards killer, truthfully, from losing. There is No Way Out. No Way Out does give you a decent. It's okay. Let me rephrase that. It's one of the only perks that reward you for losing in a powerful way. There are one, maybe two other perks that do reward you for losing in a powerful way, but this one rewards you for just losing in general. The other one requires you to lose but also be doing well. So, no one escapes death. Either remove the speed and keep the exposed status effect, or remove the exposed status effect and increase the movement speed increase from 4% to 10%. The killer still is a -1 killer at that point. The killer still has to hit you twice on that point, and you can still just escape. Yes, he becomes either 120 or 125, but it's a hex perk that can be very easily broken, and getting the movement speed after you've hooked someone doesn't matter at all. The exposed effect still matters at the end of the game once you've hooked someone, because they still have to find no one escapes death and break it, or they can't get you off the hook. But NOED with a 10% increase might give you a chance, though it doesn't do that much. It could actually still give you a chance at going after a survivor if the survivors are halfway decent. So at the end of the game, you hooked a survivor. Well, your only objective is now that survivor on the hook. So, at this point, without one shot, they are going to get the survivor off the hook if they are well coordinated. Or just halfway decent, knowing what to do. Coming up, one of them forces you to hit them, you get hit, and they run away. The other person, while you're recovering, unhooks with Borrowed Time, hits that survivor, and gets a sprint burst. Now, you physically can't get them, because now they're getting body blocked by the person that has Borrowed Time and Decisive Strike. and possibly the other survivor who wasn't downed yet, if 4 are alive. All you need is 2 survivors for someone to get off the hook, and you have no choice, no chance. It still takes them to be halfway decent, though. Having a 10% increase with no expose might give you the ability to outrun the survivors body blocking you, and give you the ability to down the person that you injured at first. Even if they have dead hard, even if they got that small that 150% sprint burst, you might be able to catch up to them before they get to the exit gate and down them. So, and this is one of the perks that doesn't benefit anything from it being replaceable, because it's the end of the game and you wasting time to go and replace Hex Snow and Escape's Death. You've lost the game if you do that. So once it's broken, it's broken. It doesn't gain any benefit unless you hook them next to a totem, which you don't know unless you remember where every non-broken totem spot is next to a hook. So either remove exposed effect and increase the speed, or remove the speed. Those are just facts. It's not an opinion. It's just what it is. No One Escapes Death is the only killer perk worth nerfing. You can't disagree with it, because that is the fact. I know. Though, sadly, in the current state of the game, with the game being so quick, because survivors are becoming more efficient, as obviously they would, because the better a survivor is at the game, the survivor gets the game, the more efficient they're going to be at doing generators. And the worse that the devs keep making killers and killer perks, the more people are going to be using NOED. Especially since the aspect of the game is, especially with the current state, camp the first person you hook until they're dead. Well, now that you've done that, there's all the gens complete. Down the next survivor with NOED. Hook them, camp them, game's over, you gained them a mark. Good job. So, sadly, right now, it isn't necessary evil. It does deserve a nerf, but not until the game is balanced. Or at least more balanced. That once the devs wake up and realize that their game is unbalanced, not for survivors, and not for survivors against killers, because survivors, for some fucking reason, think that killers are overpowered. But for killers against survivors, because survivors are overpowered. Survivors just are that, or just in general, their mechanic is so much easier than killer. It's so much faster. Well, I'll see you in the next one.